Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 105 for June 16th through 19th. Thanks so much for ordering this week, and thanks for letting us send something special to you at home. And happy Father's Day week for those fathers out there. I hope other people are finishing this special meal kit for you, and I hope you just get to sit back and enjoy. We've got a delicious meal, ribs, of course, for Father's Day week, which I'm super excited about. Rich's smoked ribs are just amazing. I actually bought a new smoker and assembled it today just for the Father's Day week because we need a lot of ribs this week. So thanks for ordering, and why don't we go ahead and get started? I've jumped ahead a little bit, and I have put the ribs and the carrots in the oven to roast. So it's going to be 12 minutes at 425 degrees, or if you're like me and have a convection oven, drop it down to 400 degrees. And you're just going to toss the carrots with some neutral oil, canola or grapeseed oil, and some salt and pepper. And the ribs just go straight on there, and then we're going to baste them afterwards. I have also on a different baking rack with olive oil, salt and pepper, toss some cherry tomatoes in there, and we're going to put those in for 10 minutes for the appetizer. So why don't we start working on that appetizer? So we're going to get a pan up to medium high heat, I think. Medium high heat. So we're going to do two things in one pan. We've got this gorgeous milk bread, brioche, and you're going to melt some butter, unsalted butter, and baste both sides with this butter, and that's just going to make it delicious and golden brown. Apologies in advance if there is some noise in the background. We are getting our fence replaced right now, and our fence guy is working really hard because he wants to see his son this weekend, and he wants to get this job done, and we are all in favor of that. By the way, I hope you all know that you can now get your deliveries on Fridays and Saturdays at the Perth Brewery in case you have a cottage nearby or know some people living near or in Perth. So something to consider. And keep your basting brush nearby because we're going to need it for the barbecue sauce later. Okay, so pan, we're going to do medium-high heat. We're going to put the brioche in there. And at the same time, as soon as it's in, we're going to put some oil, neutral oil, grapeseed or canola oil in there in order to fry up your halloumi. So it's about 90 seconds on each side for this, and about 2 minutes per side for the halloumi. So why don't we go get started for the halloumi? So put some oil just on one side. And then in a few seconds, we will add the brioche to the other side. Okay, what else can we get a start on? So the arugula is going to get wilted by the warm tomatoes, but we want a little bit of olive oil. Because we're not cooking, we always like using olive oil there. Salt and pepper. And we can give this a stir now, get it all set up. And I can talk to you about the white wine that I have been enjoying a little bit while I've been getting ready. So this is a Ionare Falanghina from northern Italy. We have featured this one before, and I just love it. Minerally, citrusy, almond, bright, vibrant. It's just really good. Okay, so I think we've waited long enough. Let's get the brioche in the same pan. We always try to save you some effort. I got some butter on my AirPods there. Hopefully it doesn't mess them up. And let's see how our halloumi is doing. We want a nice golden brown on it. Getting there. So why don't we go ahead and give it a flip. Yeah, that's a nice golden brown. Then we'll toss that guy over in a second. Once we get the brioche going, we're going to put on the plate with some remoulade. So I need a spoon. Got a bigger spoon right there. And then some salt and pepper. We've got some honey sauce that is going to go on the carrots, but that's when it comes out at the end. So you don't need to do it ahead of time. I can even jump ahead and do the dessert right now while we're waiting. Although the brioche probably needs a flip. So why don't I put the pecan tart down, which is one of my favorite things of all time. Yeah, the brioche has got a nice golden brown going on too. So with the dessert, we're going to plate the tart in the center of the plate. I use a little shallow bowl, which is really nice. And then we're going to top with whipped cream and then the zest. This is the first meal kit almost ever, I think, that my wife is missing. She has just joined the board of directors of a nonprofit, and their annual general meeting is tonight. So she will just have to have leftovers. My son and I will get down with the ribs, as men do. Okay, there's our beautiful pecan tart. Make sure to bring it to room temperature with the whipped cream and the candied orange zest. Okay, I'm going to turn this guy off now. And because I like this burner more, I'm going to bring this over for my succotash, and I'm going to start warming it up. Okay, so the tomatoes are going to be coming out in just a second. So let's see, the brioche goes first. That was very nice. Do this one. Get the remoulade on there. And if you have extra remoulade, you can put some on the side for dipping because it is delicious stuff. Yeah, why not? Just put it on there and drag it through. Looks all pretty. Very nice. All right, actually reuse that. The arugula is next because I know the tomatoes are going to wilt the arugula down, and you can almost squish them when they come out, is how the chef articulated it. Very nice. Hey, Google, off. Make sure I take that off. Okay. So I'm going to put the tomatoes there, but before I plate that up, we've got the lovely ribs here. Smelling amazing from that new smoker. And you want to baste them very generously with the Kansas City barbecue sauce. Kansas City is the red one. The Alabama barbecue sauce, which we sometimes do, is the white one. I've got lots of tongs, so why don't I do this? So you want to go both sides. Something's beeping at me. Yes, yes, yes. The joys of induction cooking. Looking good. Now that can go back in. Hey Google, set a timer for 3 minutes. All right, the tomatoes are already doing their thing, shriveling up so you can mush them really well. This is a big, generous, delicious looking appetizer. I can't wait to dig into it. Yeah, just give them a little smush. And again, they will wilt the arugula underneath. Get rid of the pan and bring the halloumi over. And by the way, I'm going to get the succotash going on now. 1 tablespoon of neutral oil per person. Succotash in, 5 minutes, then we're going to add some buttermilk. Okay, where did my thing go there? Hopefully it hasn't. No, that's a nice brown. Now, halloumi, if you are not aware, is a cheese originally from Cyprus, although this is a Canadian version. That's gorgeous. And it's very salty, so you do not need to add any salt to this. I'm just going to clean up the plate a little bit. Looking good. So there's our gorgeous pan-seared halloumi with the buttered brioche, the remoulade with capers, arugula, and tomato. One good looking dish. All right, let's get ready for the main course. What do we need? We're just going to saute this guy up a little bit. Hit it with a little salt and pepper. All right, now let's talk about the red wine. This is perfect for dads. It's big and meaty and bold, and it's going to go great with the barbecue sauce. It's tangy. It's a McManus Petite Sirah from California. Petite Sirah, if you're unfamiliar with it, has been linked to the same grape Primitivo in Italy. And it's just this big, mouth-filling, voluptuous wine that just makes everyone happy. So we need more happiness in our lives, in our world right now. Hey, Google, how much time's left on the timer? Oh, maybe I didn't do that. So I think it's 3 minutes. So why don't we go ahead and do our last basting of the ribs. What I would suggest is that do the bottom first so that the last basting doesn't get mucked up. And here, you might have some Kansas City barbecue sauce left over, and that is okay. Save it for a rainy day when you want to add some joy and flavor to your dishes at home. Hey Google, set a timer for 3 minutes. Lovely, that one seemed to work. Okay. And if you really like the barbecue sauce, you can certainly add it to the ribs when it comes out of the oven, if you like them saucy. Toss this up. We've got our coleslaw here. I'm going to use some clean tongs. Got rid of all my little guys. Sometimes the juice sort of goes to the bottom. Give it a stir. And another little trick to save you some dishes is use the containers that the tomatoes came in, for instance, or the arugula. You can actually use it for, take the arugula out, toss the tomatoes in it, put it in the oven, and then put the arugula back in and toss it in the same stuff. Just add some olive oil this time, and that makes it great instead of mixing bowls. Because why do you want to do extra dishes? And you can just rinse them out and put them in the recycling or put them in your compost, and you don't even have to rinse them. Okay, so our succotash getting very close. You've already seasoned it. Once it's reheated, add your buttermilk sauce and mix evenly. I jumped ahead and did it without or added the salt and pepper ahead of time. So you can do it either way you like. But we're going to make sure that the buttermilk gets tossed in nicely with the succotash, and that provides the nice creaminess, but also the acidity from the buttermilk to give it the dish a nice little balance for you. That's looking good. And reading ahead on the plating, we're going to do the succotash in the middle of the plate, and then your slaw beside, followed by their carrots. So why don't we go ahead and plate the succotash right now. Again, make sure to give it a stir so the buttermilk is all nicely incorporated. Succotash, for those of you who don't know, classic Southern dish. Corns and beans, but we do lots of extras. We've got some peppers in there oftentimes, that's popular. Some red onion, and a few other little special goodies. Okay, we're going to do our coleslaw beside. And make sure to get the juice at the bottom. Spread this out, and then you can put the juice Hey, Google, off. Good timing. So I'm going to reuse my bowl that I used earlier for the arugula, and that's what we're going to do for the carrots. We're going to put the honey dressing in there, and we're going to give them a toss. I'm just going to rinse these tongs off so I don't have the buttermilk stuff on it. Make some space on here. Wow, this smells amazing. Okay, so carrots first. Give them a nice little toss, and then the heat from the carrots will melt the honey. And on the plating, and then the carrots on the side, multicolored if you want to try to play with the colors, the matching. That'll make you a champion in your household. And why not get some of that lovely carrot and honey sauce. And there. Now ribs again, you can get them a little more basted if you like. It's totally up to you. But they're pretty juicy right now. This is a good looking Father's Day meal, I'll tell you that. But for all of you who are not fathers out there, I hope you enjoy it just the same. I'm just going to clean this up. 1 second. It's a good looking dish. The Kansas City smoked barbecue ribs with the coleslaw, the succotash, the buttermilk dressing, and our honey roasted carrots. I hope you love your meal. Thank you very much for ordering. Thanks for the support. And happy Father's Day again to the fathers out there. Enjoy your weekend.